Debate night in America. In New York, Socialist Zoran and Andrew Cuomo and Republican Curtis Sliwa brawling over who should run the Big Apple.
He literally has never had a job. On his resume, it says he interned for his mother.
He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque.
I know you think you're the toughest guy alive, but let me tell you something. You lost your own primary, right? You were rejected by your Democrats.
Why
and
didn't
you have
you
a
send the
difficult
National Guard?
understanding that what the term no is. You're not going to stand up to Donald Trump.
I am not running to defund the police. I am running to actually work with the police to deliver public safety. Andrew Cuomo says that he has stood up to ICE. He has not said a word about the abductions that are happening right now.
The DSA, which you give your part of your salary to, that's their position: abolish jails, no new carceral facilities, don't enforce misdemeanors.
Thank God I'm not a professional politician. We have the architect and we have the apprentice of no cash bail, which has been a disaster. We have the architect and the apprentice here of raise the age.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only debate. Over in Virginia, things were heating up. Democratic candidate for Attorney General Jay Jones was on the defense. Jones apologizing for his sick murder text messages, the ones where he talked about putting 2 bullets into a GOP colleague's head.
I am ashamed. I am embarrassed. And I'm sorry. I am sorry to Speaker Gilbert. I'm sorry to his family. I'm sorry to my family. And I'm sorry to every single Virginian. I cannot take back what I said. But you have my word that I will always be accountable for my mistakes.
Saying that he is sorry. Jay, if you're really sorry, you wouldn't be running. If you really understood the ramifications of what you said about an innocent mom and her children.
Martha, you sat down with Zoran. You got to meet him face to face, get a feel for him. Did you see anything in that debate that surprised you? Did it kind of play out the way you thought it would?
Well, I asked him the other day if he thought Hamas should lay down their arms and pointed out to him that they're now shooting Palestinians inside of Gaza. And he said, I don't have an opinion on that. No, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that Hamas has to lay down their arms. This is after calling for a ceasefire for months and months and months over the course of this. But then last night when they asked him, he said, he smiled, he said, absolutely, Hamas needs to lay down their arms. So this is, something that he thought about after an unsuccessful exchange over that issue and changed his mind on last night. They pressed him on a lot of things. I pressed him on a lot of things. The experience issue is another big one. He has not ever really held a job other than assemblyman. We have lots of long-term politicians who have I don't think Joe Biden ever had a job except for being in office. But we do find that it's pretty helpful to people like Mayor Bloomberg, for example, when they've run something, when they've managed something before they get to the job. So, I think he did what he had to do last night in terms of sort of keeping his position, and he's well ahead at this moment.
Jesse, I think most people would say you've had a job. I don't know, but you at least understand.
Is this a job?
No.
No, every day.
A little under the belt there.
Joy.
It's a gift.
But when you look at this, you have 2 older guys that have been around forever and a guy that, like Martha just said, hasn't ever had a job. And it's almost like the people in New York are throwing all the policies aside and saying, oh, well, that's different. I'll vote for that.
Yeah, you look at these guys, even Greg could be mayor. You go up there, one guy killed everyone's grandparents. The other guy's never had a job, and the other guy lives with cats. I'd go in and I'd say, you said I'd never been to a mosque. You've never been to a gym. You couldn't even bench 100 pounds. You said you bought pot at a pot shop. Were you high when you came up with these policies? Are you high now? That's how you got to throw him off his game, because he's all smiles. He's all super relaxed. This guy hates Columbus. This guy hates cops. I'd look him square in the eye and say, you want to lead the financial capital of the world? You can't even do math. I'd actually ask him a math equation. I'd say, what's 17 divided by? He couldn't do it. And I just watched the clock tick and sweat. Then I'd say, who's your favorite player on the Knicks? Name one player on the Knicks. Just name one player. And then I'd say, who's your favorite pitcher on the Yankees? Ever. You can name any pitcher on the Yankees, name one. And then I'd say, could you imagine this guy throwing out the first pitch at a Yankee game? He's got no arm, he's got no brain, he's got no taste. Where's your favorite slice, buddy? Name your favorite slice in New York City. He couldn't do it. I would say this guy is going to destroy New York City, and I won't let him.
If I learned anything from that, it's that I'm not qualified to be mayor of New York City. I didn't have an answer for you for hardly any of those. Jessica, I don't know. I look at this and I see a guy who is polished enough. He's got enough people behind him telling him what to say, when to say it. I guess maybe the silver lining there, because I don't know if that he's your guy either. I guess the silver lining there, and I think this about AOC, but she's kind of proving me wrong as she gets older, is when they come in really young, they're still impressionable and they can still be pulled in a direction. I know some of the finance guys are starting to back him or at least not be against him. And is it because maybe they can turn him into the puppet they need?
I think that they want to have a relationship with the mayor of New York, and it's clear that the numbers have borne that out at this point. Eric Adams got out too late, and Curtis Sliwa is going to get, 13 to 15% of the vote, and so he's not getting out. He said he turned down $10 million to stay in that race, and I thought that last night and really this entire election has been about authenticity more than policy. I don't know if everyone thinks there's going to be free buses or that the rent's going to get frozen, but I think a lot of this was summed up in what I thought was Mamdani's best line of the evening. He said to Cuomo, what I don't have in experience, I make up for in integrity. And what Andrew Cuomo lacks in integrity, he could never make up for with experience. And Republicans and Democrats both agree with that about Andrew Cuomo. It seemed like Curtis Sliwa, frankly, hated Cuomo more than Mamdani or anyone else in this. And Curtis Sliwa is a great New York character, and that came through. I was telling you guys before the show started that I had friends that hadn't really paid attention to him or seen interviews, and they said, well, that guy got shot in the back of a cab in 1992, and also, where was your beret? Your beret is your signature. So he should have had that. But, when you have Sliwa, who is this great New York character, going that hard after Cuomo as well, I think that people start to just say, this is what is going to happen, and we should figure out a way to work together.
Greg, anybody named Jay Jones, that's a red flag automatically. I don't trust that guy at all. And then you add on top of that these text messages. And you can go either way with this. You can go New York mayor or the Virginia.
Let me stop you right there, Joey.
Yeah.
I want to talk about New York.
I thought so.
Yeah, and by the way, the reason why I want to bring up New York is because I do think that the Jay Jones thing is more of a side story. This has a bigger meaning towards all of America. It's why why should America think about this? You have to remember that Zoran is a rich elite. Just because he's young and you haven't heard of him doesn't make him just some kind of radical from the street. He is a rich elite, a Nepo baby. And you got to ask yourself, why are our elites more radical and extreme than the poor in other countries? Mm-hmm. Our rich are more extreme than the poor in other countries. That's kind of freaky. Trump, again, got different factions to agree to a peace deal, but here you have rich people who want revolution, who say capitalism is evil. The radicals on our campus are every bit as scary and rabid as the radical pro-Hamas supporters in Gaza. Hell, like you said, Zoran wouldn't even say he had an opinion on disarming Hamas. He's in America. I'm sure there are people who have that opinion in Gaza. Our radicals preach compassion, but the distance from their consequences desensitizes them from actual suffering. That's why you have this. They're so-called targets, whether it's Jews, Trumpers, white folk, they become abstract enemies. Mm-hmm. It's very important. It's very easy to demonize them, while it's also easy for them to romanticize real threats from far away, whether it is, Islamists of any stripe. Lastly, there was a question in there that people said that Mamdani screwed up on. He was asked how he would pay for the $10 billion in freebies. It doesn't matter, because the people voting for him won't be paying for it. The people not voting for him will be paying for it. That is the terrible lesson for America. The left can see how to win by telling all the people who won't pay taxes that if they vote for him, he'll get the suckers, us, to pay the taxes, to get all that free stuff that he's promising. It's like telling kids there's going to be free ice cream at recess. Obviously, somebody else is paying for it, but the point is, it's not them. So we're just sitting there, and we are actually watching ourselves being robbed politically. This guy is up there saying, hey, everybody, See these guys over here? I'm taking their money and I'm giving it to you. You vote for me. And you're saying some finance guys, the only reason why the finance guys do it is because they're greedy little pigs. They just want to make sure they find a way to save their money.
All right. Well, maybe Don will talk him into letting us all have guns, and then I'll get an illegal to go vote for me. All right.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.